So this is the walkthrough for the December assessment, and this is the non-calculator paper. Take some notes, rewind it back, and get the most that you can from this. Okay, so the first question is to do with putting numbers in order, and the key thing for this question is that it says start with the smallest number. So the smallest number is -5, then -3, then 4, 6, and 9. It may help for this question to think of a thermometer. So -5 is around here, followed by -3, 4 is around here, then 6, and then 9 as well. So think about what sort of temperature it is going from coldest to the warmest. For question 2, you need to know the key fact that 1 metre is equal to 100 centimetres. If you don't know that, then you can't complete this question. So 430 centimetres is 4.3 metres. You need to know that key fact though, guys. Question number 3 is to do with place value. So if I put a place value table in, then all you can simply do is drop down your 0.3, and you can see from there that it is 3/10, 3/10. For question number 4, it should be a straight off recall problem, so you should know that 0.7 is equal to 70%. Okay, so question number 5 is about a stick. So the stick is 30 centimetres long. Part A is 16, part B is 9, and it's asking us to find the length of part C. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 16 add 9 gives me 25 centimetres. So what this means is that this entire length here, A and B, is 25 centimetres. If the whole stick is 30, then all I need to do is 30, take away 25 to give me 5 centimetres. So the answer is 5 centimetres. So for question 6, you just need to work backwards. So she ends with 5. Instead of taking away, you add 7, which is 12. And then instead of timesing by 3, you divide by 3. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So the answer is 4. For question 7, the key bit of information is that 2 pence cost 60p. So that means that 1 pen is 30p. Either way, it's fine. So what the question is asking is work out the cost of 5 of these pens. So what you do is 30p times by 5 to get us £1.50, making sure that you've got your units as a pound and not in pence as 150 pence. So it'd be £1.50. So for these type of dual bar chart questions, I like to annotate the bars up here before I do anything else with the question, just so I've got those numbers nice and handy. So this is 11, this is 10, this is 11, this is 3, 6, and 6. And then what I'm going to do when I'm checking my answers is check that these numbers are all correct with the heights of the bars. So let's have a look at the first question. It says write down the number of cheese sandwiches sold. So that's a key thing, the cheese sandwiches. So we've got 6, add 6, which gives us 12. The next question wants us to work out the difference between the number of white and the number of brown. So we add up our white, so we've got 11, add 11, add 6, and our number of brown, which is 10, add 3, add 6, and then find out the difference between them. So 11 add 11 is 22, add 6 gives me 28, then 10 add 3 add 6 gives me 19. Then I need to work out the difference between these, which is 9. This is one of those questions where people really do make silly mistakes with their adding here, their adding here, and even the taking away here. So 28 take away 19 is 9. So with this question, we have got some cards, and it's all about probability. So the key topic here is probability. So we've got squares, we've got triangles, and we've got circles. The number of squares we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people miscounted that. The number of triangles is 1, and the number of circles is 3. Which shape is most likely to be on the card? Well, that's obviously a square. For those of you that are poor at spelling out there, it doesn't matter if you spell it wrong. What is the probability that James will take a card that has a square in it? So we've got 5 out of 9. So for question number 10, David is going to buy a cooker. The cooker has a price of £320 and he pays a 15% deposit. So what the question is asking us to do is find 15% of £320. There's a few ways you can do this. Easiest way is probably knowing what 10% is, which is 32. So 5% is half of that, which is 16. Then adding these together, 2 add 6 is 8, 3 add 1 is 4, to get £48. So 11A is a nice and easy algebra question. You can just realise that x is 9. It's quite easy to see that. Or if you want to use a full method, you could minus 3 off this side, minus 3 off this side. So you're left with x equals 12 take away 3, which is 9. Nice and easy. This one is something divided by 5 equals 10. So there's a few methods. You can use trial improvement, or you know that the opposite of a divide by 5 is times by 5. So you times both sides by 5. So you're left with y equals 10 times 5, which is 50. So the answer is 50. So this is a standard probability question. The first one has been done for you. So they've said soup, chicken. So just keep on going in a methodical way. So you could have soup followed by fish, and then soup followed by omelette, melon, chicken, melon, fish, melon, omelette. Nice and easy. Look at that, 2 marks. Pretty simple to do. A meal is chosen at random. What is the probability the meal will be melon and chicken? So our melon and chicken option is this one here, and there's only one of those out of 6 options. You've got to remember to count this first one as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 out of 6. This last question has been a bit of a strange one. Some people have just been saying that fruit juice is not a starter, it's a drink, and you can't have that. So you need to pretend that your fruit juice is here. So the actual answer is Charlie is wrong because it adds 3 meals. And then you can give your example as well. So the 3 meals are fruit juice and chicken, fruit juice and fish, and then fruit juice and an omelette, and they're all classed as individual meals. So for this question, question number 13, the diagram shows a rectangle and a square. The perimeter of the rectangle is the same as the perimeter of the square. So you need to know what these key words mean. So perimeter is the outside of the shape, which is all the way around the outside. Let's have a look. So let's start labelling some things. So this side is also 2. This side is 8, which makes the perimeter of the rectangle 2 add 8 add 2 add 8. 2 add 8 is 10, and we've got 2 of them, so that'd be 20 centimetres. And it says it's the same as the perimeter of the square. So the perimeter of the square is also 20 centimetres. Work out one length, one side of the square. So the key thing about a square is that all the lengths are exactly the same. So this length here is the same as this length, is the same as this length, and this length. So if they're all the same and they all add up to 20, then you do 20 divided by 4, which gives us 5 centimetres. So the answer is 5 centimetres. So for question 14a, it's asking you to write 8:45 in a 24-hour clock. So that's 20, which is 8 o'clock, 45. So the minutes stay the same, and then it's 8, because it's PM, it's in the afternoon or in the evening, so you add it on to 12. Sita did a puzzle in 3 minutes 45, and Ninal did it in 7 minutes 28. Sita says, I did the puzzle in less than half the time Ninal did the puzzle. Is she right? So what you need to do is half Ninal's time. 7 mins, 28 seconds. And you need to half it. Half of 7 minutes is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Half of 28 is 14 seconds. And then add them all together, it makes 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Is she right? So Sita did it in 3 minutes 45, but half of Ninal's time is 3:44. So it's no, she's wrong. Question number 15, you need to find a common denominator. So you can't add these two fractions together because they have not got the same denominator. So a nice easy common denominator would be over 8 and over 8. Remember to add your plus sign. So what do we times by the 4 to get to the 8? Well, we times it by 2. So 3 times 2 gives us 6. And then these two fractions are equivalent 6/8 and 3/4. And then this side, what do you times by 8 to get to 8? We times it by 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So that gives us an answer of 7/8. So for question number 16, there are a few ways to do it, but you have to convert them all into either all fractions, all decimals, or all percentages. We've got 2 already as decimals, so I think decimals would be quite nice to do. So we've got 0.6, 2/3 is 0.66, 65% is 0.65, and then 0.606 is itself a decimal. Now put these in order. So our first one is 0.6, followed by 0.606, 0.65, and 0.66. But then you also need to remember to put these back in the same format as before. So this one was this one. 0.606 was already decimal. 0.65 was actually 65%. So we can pop that back in. And then 0.66 was a 2/3. So we need to write that back in as 2/3. So you need to keep them as the same format that were given in the question. So for question number 17, the key fact you need to know is that 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So if 1,000 grams costs £5.60 and we're looking for 200 grams, then we need to use these sort of proportional relationships. So what do we times by or divide by 1,000 to get to 200? Divide by 5. So we need to divide this side by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 6 divided by 5 is 12. So it'd be £1.12p. For question number 18, it's quite nice to divide your page up into two, with your adults on one side and your children on the other. There's only one adult. So adult tickets are a third off the price. Not a third of the price, a third off the price. So we need to take off a third. So 1/3 of 24 is 24 divided by your bottom number 3. 24 divided by 3 gives us 8. And then we need to take that off. 24 take away 8 gives us 16. So the adult ticket is £16. For the child ticket, you get 60% off. So one child ticket is £12, as shown up here. So let's find 60%. 50% is 6. 10% is £1.20. So 60% is £7.20p. And that's off. So we need to do £12 take away £7.20, which gives us £4.80 per child ticket. Now we've got two of those. So if I go down here, 2 times £4.80 is £9.60. And then we need to add them, so our totals is 16 add £9.60. 0, 6, 5, carry that on, £25.60. So your answer is £25.60. Remember to be careful with your offs and your ofs. If it's double F, it means take it off the amount. If it's just one F, it means of. So that'll just be on its own. So for question 19, there's a few different ways to do it. I'll show you two different ways. The first one is the grid method. So for the grid method, you take out the decimal point and do 452 times by 36. So split that into your grid. 36. Put your lines in. So here I'm looking at 3 times 4 gives me 12 and then 3 zeros. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 zeros. 3 times 2 is 6 and 1 0. 6 times 4 is 24. Then there's 2 zeros. 30. Add another 0 and then 12. Then all I'll do is add these up, making sure that I've got my place values nice and obvious. So if I just get rid of this bit over here. So I've got 1, 2, 0, 0, 0. Can you see how I've left nice big gaps? So that's that one ticked off. 2, 4, 0, 0. Tick. 1, 5, 0, 0. 3, 0, 0. 60 and 12. Adding all the zeros up and 2, all the zeros up. 6 add 1 is 7. 4 add 5 is 9. Add 3 gives me 12, so that's 2 carry 1. 2 add 2 add 1 gives me 5. Add my carried 1 gives me 6. And then 1 from there. 1, 6, 2, 7, 2. Then if I have a look at my question has 1, 2 decimal points, so my answer is going to have 2 decimal points, so the decimal point will go just there, 162.72. So just going to get rid of all that and go on to the next method. So the next method for this is the lattice method, or some like to call it the Chinese grid method. So for this method, 4, 5, 2, and then we've got 3, 6, and you draw in your boxes like so. If you want to extend it up here, you can do. And then put your lattices going diagonally. So 4 times by 3 is 12. So your tens go here, your units go there. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 3 is 6, so no tens, 6 units. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 6 is 30. 3 tens, no units. And 2 times 6 is 12. And then what we're going to do is add up diagonally along here, 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 and here. So, if I add up these ones, I've got just 2. If I add up these ones, 6 plus 1 is 7. If I add up these ones, 5, add 3 is 8. Add 4 gives me 12. So that's 2, carry 1. So the 1 carries over to this row here. 1, add 2, gives me 5. Carried the 1, so it's 6. And then the 1 on the end gives me 16272. And again, my question has 2 decimal places, so my answer will also have 2 decimal places. And as you can see, it gets the same answer, 162.72. Question number 20 is about Talil and his concrete mix. This is quite a common question. So the cement, sand and gravel need to be split into this ratio here. And he wants to make 180. It's saying he's got all these ingredients down here. Okay, what we need to do is ignore this. Ignore this for a little while and just split 180 into this ratio. So depending on how you've been taught, you might do this in one of a few different ways, but all the ways are pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to use the buckets. So we've got 1 to 3 to 5. We've got 180 to split. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're doing 180 divided by a total of 9 parts. Now we know that 18 divided by 9 is 2, so 180 divided by 9 is 20. So that means that each bucket is worth 20. 20, 20, 20. So now that we've filled in all the buckets, we can say that he needs, this is your cement, this is your sand, and this is your gravel. So he needs 20 of cement, he needs 60 of sand, and he needs 100 of gravel. So, has he got enough cement? Nope. Has he got enough sand? Yep. Has he got enough gravel? Just. So, has he got enough for it all? No. Not enough cement. Question number 21 is a bounds question. So, for this one, we're wanting to say, right, to the nearest whole number, to the nearest whole centimetre, what's the lowest it could be, and what's the highest it could be if it was rounded to the nearest whole centimetre. So the lowest it could be is 71.5, because if it was 71.4, then it would round down 71. It's 71.45, it would round down to 71. 71.5, it rounds up to 72. The highest it could be is 72.5. Now I know what you're going to say. You're going to say if it's 0.5, then it'll go up to 73. But this is where this bit here comes in. Because that's not got an equal sign on, like this side has here, this hasn't got that equal sign, so it means up to but not including. So the actual answer is 72.4999999 recurring on forever. But because it's close as it needs to be 72.5, and 72.5 is not included, we write 72.5. Last question, what sort of correlation does this scatter graph show? And it is negative correlation. That's all you need to write. By drawing a line of best fit. Now, as soon as you draw a line of best fit, you're automatically getting yourself 1 mark. So remember that your line doesn't have to go through from the origin, it does have to go through most of the points. So there's your line of best fit. So this one, we're asking for an average speed for a 10-kilometre run. So distance you ran is along the bottom. So 10 kilometres, we're going up from here to our line, which is here, and then across. I'm just going to manoeuvre that into place. So about 6.8 I get. And this one is a range of answers. So if you get between 6.6 to 7.0, then you get the marks for that one. But you automatically get 1 mark for drawing this line of best fit up here. Last question. Paula generated another scatter graph to plot the distance ran against the time taken for each of her runs. So let's think about what this one would look like. So I've drawn a graph just up here. So it's distance and time. So the longer she runs for, the further she's going to run. So it looks like that. So what sort of correlation would it be? It'd be positive correlation. And then any sort of explanation of this, you could even draw a diagram if you wanted to, any explanation of the more she runs, the more time it'll take, meaning positive correlation will get you all the marks. And that's it for this paper. Well done, guys.